watching the Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, brought to you by our 2023 partners.
The East Bay Blazers taking on the Golden State Grizzlies. The Blazers winning the toss and choosing to bat first. It's good to see Saidib Ganesh back. David White searching for runs. Sanjay Krishnamurthy, Aditya Ganesh, the experienced Angelo Pereira is back in the mix of things. Vikash Mohan. Looks to be a lovely side. And Golden State Grizzlies, Anthony Bramble, lot revolves around him. Mohit Natraj, Sami Aslam, Shivam Mishra, Harish Kakani played a good innings back in San Diego. Zia Mohammed, John Bangaru can finish the game off. Kulvinder Singh gets to play with the Grizzlies this time. Neeraj Goyal, Sohan Butt the youngster, and Vatsal Vaghera even younger. It's a perfect mix of experience and youthful exuberance. Neeraj was ready to steam in. It's a very different looking surface here in Santa Clara, California. Anthony Bramble, we've talked about the importance of this man firing for the Grizzlies. And man, in your background right now, Kulvinder Singh will very soon be seen in action with a ball in hand. Used to ply his trade for the Silicon Valley Strikers, providing very important overs to the captain. Puts bat to ball. Does Saideep Ganesh. The first run is on the board. There's always a sigh of relief no matter what level of cricket you're playing in. That first run means a lot. Now, David White has got one good innings under his belt, wants to continue that good run because he's discovered that form is something that's very elusive. Not looking comfortable immediately almost, but still has time. John Bangaru, a terrific fielder. He's been sort of hid at this short fine leg position. Someone who covers ground quickly, usually fields in the deep. Hint of movement. Bramble collects it at a comfortable height as well. Oh, this is good to see. That's the first boundary. And Saideep Ganesh will now feel even better. Was turning out to be a very good over for Goyal, but finishes with a boundary. 6 without a wicket.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले। हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
The East Bay Blazers have trusted the efficacy of David White, picking him for this season, retaining him for this season rather, as he plays the shots in his mind first, also registering the gaps. Kulvinder Singh with the first ball. With that angle, the left armer always makes it difficult. Trusts the one that comes back into the right-hander. There's Kulvinder Singh. Sohan Bhatt gets a game today. Got a little bit of break, did Sohan Bhatt in San Diego. Put away, and put away in David White's best fashion. He's asking the question now, who is searching for form? Not me. Very well played. Just the balance in that shot, and David White picking the length early. Immediately, protection in the deep, in the same region. Oh, fabulous. Even before he started the swivel, he had made contact. That means that Kulwinder is quick, a little quicker than expected, but the length was anticipated really well. David White now gets his first boundary as well. That single will put Saideep Ganesh back on strike. Nice slow hands from the Bangalore School of Cricket. Saideep Ganesh has played a majority of cricket here, though, in the United States. Now the East Bay Blazers, they had opened with Vikash Mohan for a while. Now Angelo Pereira was with the Lankan Premier League. Now that he's come back, it's a side that was never settled in this particular season. 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. It's good to see the youngster getting a game today, Sohan. Now that Saideep is back for the East Bay Blazers, David White has just about started off well. Looked confident with that boundary. And of course that opening partnership that East Bay Blazers were able to get against San Diego Surf Riders, about 72. It just tells you that this side it's getting better and better with every game. Moving outside off a little early, but the plan hasn't worked. Very well positioned as far as Shivam's concerned. Into the over, 12 without a wicket.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Neeraj Goyal with his high arm action continues to bowl at the corridor of uncertainty. Saideep Ganesh wanted to punch on the back foot, explore the gap on the offside, didn't make contact at all. Good collect by Harish Kakani, but refrains from the throw. Didn't want the drama. He knew that Saideep Ganesh had made it. So far, the East Bay Blazers, despite a couple of boundaries, have been kept quiet because David White and Sadeep Ganesh, both of them are believing in singles, especially after a dot delivery. That line, that length, a little bit of skid involved. Didn't expect that. Neeraj Goel. Sadeep just wanted to help. Now that line and length, usually to David White, with the wrist that he possesses and the power, the gift of timing, he would have put that away. Interestingly, he didn't make much of contact with it. Is it the form? And you could see that he's a little itchy to get to the non-striker's end as well. Sami Aslan's captaincy would be tested at this stage. He knows that he's able to tie down East Bay Blazers to 13 without a wicket in 16 deliveries. 2 dot deliveries to someone who's itchy to be at the non-striker's end now. Does he change the field a little bit? Does he want to stop that single? Breaks free. Something had to give. David White finds, just about 2 runs there. Now Santa Clara is not the ground that is going to be one of the better friends for the batter. Superbly done. One swift motion from Sohan Butt. He had to curb his slide as well. David White swivels. Falls safely, does the ball. A couple of runs here as well. Not in great control as he played the shot. David White is a tad bit late. 3 overs gone, 17 for no loss.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Kulbinder continues. That was there in the slot for Sadeep Ganesh. Bounces on that length. Inside out and it'll trickle away for 4. It's a length that the opener loves to play. Just 2 fielders patrolling the boundary rope. Go over the infield. Go through with a shot. Looks very classy. No matter how many times you look at it. The idea was right. Intention was a little wrong. This time slightly shorter. But it's chosen the same area. Sadeep Ganesh. Zia Shehzad was after it. Much like a tennis player. Trying to give back a moon ball. 2 boundaries back to back. The length has drastically shifted. It's a very difficult shot to play in that region. Somehow gets enough bat on it. This is a good over for Saideep Ganesh and East Bay Blazers. They've got to move on. Now it's important for David White to only go for the big shot if it's there to be hit. He'll be under less pressure. The 2 boundaries have been achieved in this over, but he's not content. This time he swivels to perfection, and David White through deep mid-wicket is vintage David White. Won't be surprised if there's a smile on his face right now. It's a shot that he loves to play. And it's a shot that signals that the form's coming back. Many things are coming back. The timing on it was perfect too. John Bangaru is usually quick, but doesn't get there in time because David White's hands were quicker. Very good over this for East Bay Blazers. 3 boundaries of it. 30 without a wicket, the East Bay Blazers.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Four overs gone, 30 for no loss. The East Bay Blazers, both the batters have now started to open their arms a little more. And compactment required is David White. Just 1 moment ago, he was swiveling a ball for 4. Good thinking. Edward Goyle watching the batter till the last moment. David White wanting to give him the charge to throw him off that length. It's a very nagging length for David White. As Neeraj Goyal is not someone innocuous, he'll make the ball move. And I won't be surprised if Neeraj Goyal decides to call the keeper up, Anthony Bramble, who loves to wear the helmet sometimes when he's up against the Pacers and he's standing where he usually does. You won't be surprised if he's called up, because those precious moments of calling for a helmet and wearing them, that will be saved. Anthony Bramble prefers to wear it for the Pacers as well. Neeraj Goyal lost his rhythm a little bit while running in, and rhythm is something that the pace bowlers thrive on. So if youngsters are watching, it's okay to do this. The batter can wait a little bit And the captain will have a wry smile on his face because time is ticking by. Only deliver if you as a bowler feel 100% all right. That's on the leg side. Clipped away for a single. And John Bangaru with a very good throw. That single wasn't without resistance. But Saideep Ganesh just doing what the coaches have been telling him from the young days. Drag the bat. Anthony Bramble was able to stop that ball. Saideep Ganesh is showing signs of playing cheeky shots already. And he'll feel that he's missed out on this delivery. Saideep Ganesh. I remember watching him play this shot for fun at Morgan Hill. That was last season. But just in case the opposition captain has forgotten that he can do this too. But not anymore in this innings. Let's skid it through and take in the crown called the Bales. Much to the delight of Neeraj Goyal, much to the delight of Golden State Grizzlies. The first breakthrough is here. Has he played on here? Five overs gone. Blazers have lost their first wicket. It's 32 for 1. Sanjay Krishnamurthy at number 3. A terrific 84 earlier this season. Sanjay Krishnamurthy. And then he's been making his presence felt. And the stamp of authority of Sanjay Krishnamurthy is always with a ball in hand. Many believe that he was fast-tracked to the international level. Watched him first time in Oman at the Al Amarat. Sanjay Krishnamurthy has proven his mettle time and again. Difficult situations. Remember Morgan Hill, the second round, that's adjacent ground. Difficult to play and you need a big heart as a spinner. With the shorter boundaries. There he was, now with a bat in hand though. Krishnamurthy will wait for his chance. It's David White on strike. Kakani started off with an appeal. Vatsal Vakela very soon will be seen in attack as well. Vatsal loves to bowl in the power play too. Kakani would not like this. Looks like he's still warming up, Kakani. The ball didn't bounce much, and you can't blame Anthony Bramble either. This time it does, and David White trusts that bounce. That single will put Krishnamurthy on strike for the first time. Now Harish Kakani, with all his experience playing for Andhra back in India. Very tentative. Krishnamurthy has gifted a catch to Anthony Bramble. The celebrations aren't the biggest behind the wicket, but watch out for them in front of it. A golden duck here for Sanjay Krishnamurthy, and innings to forget with a bat in hand. And the East Bay Blazers lose their second. Sanjay Krishnamurthy gets an opportunity up tops today. Tentative. The outside edge is all that Harish Kakani wanted, who's proving himself to be a very good bowler in the power play once again, Harish Kakani. "37 for 2. The immensely experienced Rizwan CP. He is always a force to reckon with, and he's seen scorecards of this kind many a time in UAE. And he'll bat freely. He'll bat positively. First run for Rizwan. The power play ends East Bay Blazers 38 for 2. One swift motion. Collect the ball, throw the ball. Good work from Sohan. 38 for 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
David White and Rizwan CP. I think it can be a blessing in disguise for the East Bay Blazers that Rizwan is out there right now in this very crucial situation. It's important to counter attack at this stage. Zia Shehzad was almost waiting for the power play restrictions to end. And the reason I say that for Rizwan CP is because he's captaincy material. The way he led the side in the T20 World Cup as well, the side being UAE, it's just phenomenal to watch. That win over Namibia, especially. The field changes were spot on, bowling changes were spot on. David White, 16 of 18, has got a start and suddenly realizes he's the only surviving opener. And he's in with a chance to get a good score under his belt. Single this time. It's Santa Clara. It's a ground that'll give him bittersweet memories. It's a ground that he took a bit of time to get going as well. And there was an innings where he went absolute bonkers. It was important for East Bay Blazers to qualify with a good net run rate, and they were up against a team which is miles away playing at home. That was Seattle. Eventually, it was Seattle that went ahead and not just went ahead in the tournament, but went on to win the tournament after a topsy-turvy finish. Rizwan's bottom hand has come off. And still he finds the boundary. Concentrated only on placement. The timing was secondary. Seems to work. Reaching out for the ball, Zia Shahzad was bowling the regular leg spinner, was turning further away from the right hander, still finds the gap, a deep extra. Zia Shahzad's pleading. That one kept low. Where did it pitch is the bigger question. Where did it pitch? Or that definitely kept low. Seven overs gone, 44 for 2. It's just impossible to tell you from this angle. And the umpire, I think, believes that it pitched outside leg. $44 for 2. Kakani believes that he's got the man. Bramble believes that he's got something with a bit of willow. You don't need to teach a fast bowler to appeal. How close was this? Was there any deflection? That was very, very close indeed. David White walks away. And the finger that matters, that stays down. Slight change in the field. Third man a little wider. Straight to the young Vatsal at point. Such a shrewd spinner, Vatsal Vaghela. Went for a little bit of runs in San Diego. There were phases in which he was going for a few runs. Vatsal Vaghela came back with a wicket as well that opened the game up. What a start for Harish Kakani with the ball in hand. Not just a wicket, but not giving much away. In this over, the previous ball was the first run scoring delivery. CP Rizwan will drive whenever the opportunity presents itself. He's such a good driver of the cricket ball. David White is surveying the field. I still believe that he's got the deep mid-wicket region for himself. And if the ball's outside off, if he wants to risk hanging the bat, then there is some runs for the taking towards the right of third man. Well, not there though. It was a poor delivery from Harish Kakani. Lucky that it didn't trickle away for four. David White, ever since his under 19 days in KwaZulu-Natal, has been waiting for deliveries of that kind on his leg that he can put away in style. The outfield not the best here at Santa Clara, California. Didn't time it too well either, David White. Only a single. That was in the air, but it's in the gap as well. Protection in the deep. Only a single that'll make him retain strike. 8 overs gone, 48 for 2.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Two runs to start Zia Shehzad's over with.
Sorry,
50 comes up for the East Bay Blazers. In 49 deliveries. Zia Shehzad cannot believe it. Is that a dropped opportunity? Must have come quickly to him, no doubt about it, but Rizwan CP is a huge wicket. Put down! Zia Shehzad cannot believe it. What does he do? Does he buy glue to everyone? Does he buy glue and post it to everyone here? Apply some on your hands. 2 balls, 2 opportunities. And Rizwan right now is the luckiest at Santa Clara. What more does a spinner do? It's important that he doesn't let it play on his mind. He could sense that he's a little frustrated. As a spinner, if you're a little flustered, then the batter can get the better of you. That was also very close to the stumps. David White trying to cut the ball and the ball not bouncing as much. Zia Shehzad will not give you time. What an over this from Zia Shehzad. He is on top of his mark even before David White could process what happened in the previous delivery. Good thinking from David White to slow the game down when he feels that the bowler is on top. A tacit learning for the youngsters, venturing out, accessing the gap better. This time a single. David White will retain strike. 9 overs gone, 52 for 2.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Vatsal, he will go from the first ball, both batsmen, okay? Jan se zara Vatsal. Energy se. Baji kam check karo. Catch!
Free swing of the bat. And David White is getting the glimpses of form back. First the swivel shots and now down the track, straight down the ground. Vatsal Waghela didn't enjoy any of it. But David White is a tall man. He's got a big reach anyway. And if he decides to put on the dancing shoes, he can get to the pitch of the ball too. Vatsal Waghela wanting to start off really well, but David White, it's not an innings where he's running away. It's a runner ball 28 for David White, and the reason he slowed down a little bit is also because the surface was a little up and down. It still is. A wider long off for David White, who steps down again. It hits the base of leg stump. David White has ended his innings and he has only himself to blame. He trusted this pitch too much and it's a Janus-faced wicket. Just cannot believe it. The shake of the head suggests that. Vatsal Waghela just kept things simple. A little bit of drift for him as well. No bounce on that occasion. David White was trying to get back, scamper back, thinking Anthony Bramble will whip the bails off. He didn't need to do anything, Anthony Bramble. White departs, 60 for 3. Inbox the season campaigner. Angelo Pereira, who's batted a lot on Sri Lankan wickets day 3, day 4. This is something similar. And Angelo Pereira comes from the lander spin as well. What a comeback for this youngster. Smashed away for a 6 first ball. Then a couple next ball, putting the same batter on strike once again. Cool and calm, Vatsal Vagela.
52 था 8 में क्या पीना है
Still believing in the flighter delivery, a little bit of drift and then letting the surface take over. Vatsal Vagela.
चलो चलो चलो
Here are two men who played a considerable amount of this format in UAE, where you get flat pitches, especially in Sharjah. The ball's not bouncing as much, and Pereira is prepared for it by not lifting himself much in his stance. He's nice and low. A couple of runs for Pereira in the over. At the halfway stage, the East Bay Blazers still have wickets in hand, 63 for 3.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
He was looking good. David White charging the wrong delivery, which didn't bounce. Sanjay Krishnamurthy didn't have an outing to remember with a bat in hand. Rizwan and Angelo Pereira out there for the East Bay Blazers. Batting to come, Vikash Mohan, Aditya Ganesh, Hamza Tariq, Abhishek Puratkar, Kamile Rao. He'd be itchy to be bowling on this wicket. And Hari Nair, who I remember the previous season was watching all games closely. You always knew that he's got the talent to make it to the side, just waiting for the right time. Come 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship, East Bay Blazers. They have a knack of finding good spinners as well, East Bay Blazers. Mohit Natraj introduced. The keeper standing up for Mohit Natraj, who seems to move the ball a little bit after pitching. To make matters worse, he doesn't want the batter to come to the pitch of the ball. Rizwan slaps it straight, but Mohit Natraj exposing his ankle might not be a good idea, but it has stopped at least a couple of runs. On many grounds, it might be even four. Rizwan CP doesn't want any part of the ground on this one. What a hit for six. Reading the length early, trusting the bounce, and that becomes key. Just when the coach would have started to tell more straight batted strokes off the slower delivery, Rizwan CP gets something in his alley. Slow as well, a cutter. He puts that away, no half measures whatsoever. Well done, Sohan. Again, someone who's improved drastically compared to last year. Such a good over. Spoiled by 1-6 for Mohit Natraj. Once that single, this is good running between the wickets. And the fact that he's played it to a man who loves to subscribe to the tap and run, Angelo Pereira looks towards the sky, knows the importance of making it in time there. Could have been a tricky situation. 72 for 3 after 11.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
सॉरी समी रेडी रहना बाजी बट सर रेडी रहे
Rizwan wants to step out to Vakela as well, but he's watching it at the last moment, not premeditated to go for the big shot. Is he treating the dancing down the track as a yard covered, half a yard covered, to take that single eventually? Off the back foot. And I think it's the first shot that someone's offered off the back foot to Vakela, who's shown signs of keeping the ball low. Very gutsy from Pereira. Rizwan goes big on the leg side, and this time will be caught in the deep. A shot that was just not required given the situation. Trying to put pressure on Vakela, losing his wicket in the process. Rizwan CP has thrown it away. A good start and a disappointing finish. Doesn't have enough loop and not enough distance either. The fielder was very well placed and a good catch there. 75 for 3. $75 for 4 now. With Rizwan departing, more pressure on Angelo Pereira now. Young Aditya comes to the middle. 3 singles and a wicket in this over. The southpaw gets a single, gets off the mark. Very surprised by the shots that have been offered to Vatsal Vaghela today. Cross-batted shots despite what happened today with White. Ball not bouncing as much. It's better if the batters play with a straighter bat, isn't it? Pereira drives this one. Successful over for Vatsal. 77 for 4.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Sohan Bhatt, as soon as he was introduced, Pereira cuts him. There's been no one else so far who's played the cut shot more confidently on this surface to a spinner than Pereira. Ganesh was searching for a single. Now he'll get it. In hindsight, he'll say I was preempting. Eking out a mistake from the opposition. This one get low, but didn't have Pereira's name on it. Could have been a close call. If time permits, let's have a look at it again. Pereira was nice and low, hence he was able to get to the ball just in time.
You have to stand.
Doesn't need to play this one at all. This transpired a couple of deliveries ago. Look how low it is, almost ankle height. If it's a delivery that you can't blame Bramble to collect, let alone the batter being able to play that. Really well done by Pereira to put some bat on it. That's much better. Pereira trying to come down the line. Covering the line. 8 runs of Sohan Bhatt's first. With a ball to go. Righty-lefty combination for East Bay places Sohan Bhatt. able to adjust to it despite one wide. That was on the offside actually, that wide. So adjusting well was Sohan, but still gives away 9. 30 overs gone, 86 for 4.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस, इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Brother, just a little bit. Right, thank you. Sorry. No worries, no worries.
It's a ground where you need to run really well between the wickets. The reason I say this is that there is additional bit of risk in playing the bigger shots. The reason I say addition again is because of the surface. You can't trust the bounce. Such a good thinker. Vatsal Bagela, not allowing the room. Angelo Pereira was creating room for him on the offside. He pitched on the leg, didn't turn much. That's well, Vatsal Bagela. Look how quickly he sets up for the next one. Well played. Ganesh wants two. He will get two. A dream outfield would have been the one where the ball trickles away for 4 almost immediately as you play that shot. Today the outfield will require a little bit of Sunoco every time the ball hits it. Because it's the fuel that takes you further. The boundary ropes seem to be very far away if you're playing a soft shot. The 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship with Angelo Pereira back. The East Bay Blazers would believe that they've got more stability coming into their batting. Again, very sensible with his run scoring. The shot selection. 14 overs gone, 92 for 4.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Be prepared to run a lot between the wickets. Very surprised with the pair of gloves that Angelo Pereira has chosen today. One is black, the other is white. Two more. Again, some of those shots just deserved a boundary. Deserved a boundary, nothing less. But the East Bay Blazers right now have the 12th fielder in the form of grass. The outfield itself, not a blade of grass on the pitch, it seems. Have a look at it again. The black and white gloves. Perhaps Angelo Pereira is one of those batters who walks out with the wrong pair of gloves usually when they're of the same color. Decides to bifurcate. Top hand black, bottom hand white. When you're playing white ball cricket, remember that the umpire loves it when you have a black glove. Just a gentle opening the face of the bat there. This game is always going to be about the number of twos and ones that you can take. Twos even more so. It's going to be a tiring day for Pereira. Should be taken. Bramble. He's done his bit, and Pereira has lost his patience. Opening the face of the bat this time for a ball that bounced a little more than expected as well. Someone who did the hard yards, puts in the hard yards, singles and twos, and suddenly, in a bid for a cheeky shot, has gifted a catch to Bramble. That's a good catch. Too close there for Angelo Pereira to open the face of the bat and guide it to third man. Bramble in a great position to complete the catch. And this is a huge wicket in the context of the game. This is why Neeraj was brought back to bowl his final over. "98 for 5. Someone who's been given the opportunity up top in 2023 Sunoco Minor League Cricket Championship. Vikash Mohan is also someone who's known as a great finisher. He understands the East Bay Blazers setup as well. Now at 98 for 5 on a tricky surface. Can he provide that good finish? 130 is game on this track. Game on. Neeraj Goyal mighty pleased with the very important wicket because Angelo Pereira, he could have kicked it to the next gear. Keeping low. And Bramble quickly gains control of that ball as well. 6 runs and a wicket. A very good over for Neeraj Goyal. Great captaincy by Sami Aslam to bring him back as well. 98 for 5.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Vatsal Bagela will finish his quota of 4 overs. He'll be mighty pleased with this effort. Vatsal Bagela has picked up 2 wickets and it's auguring well for him. He's in search of his third, which is not too far away, I feel. Vikash Mohan, this new man in, will get a word of advice from Ganesh. East Bay Blazers, the cusp of what would be a fighting 100. Mohan gets a single. Mohan's off the mark, and East Bay Blazers reach the psychological 100. It's a track where 130 seems to be par. I'll be very interested in seeing how Sami Aslam eventually plays on this track, because he loves to cut the ball, but the ball's not bouncing as much. Ganesh goes big on the leg side, and a very welcome boundary. It's travelled the distance, in fact. Waghela didn't expect this. That came as a bolt from the blue. What a shot from Aditya. Look how late he starts to move after the ball is released. After the ball was released, it's such a good shot. As we watch it in slow motion, it's a great learning for the youngsters. Move late, direct hit, and he was gone. Vikash Mohan knew it. Direct hit, and he would have been the one to pull the rope to the curtains. He's tried the same shot again. Vatsal Waghela has pounced. Well, he's picked up another wicket. It's in fact John who's pouched the catch. Just for a moment, Vatsal was going after it himself. But John Bangaru said, "Don't worry, I'm here." And the third wicket that Waghela was looking for has come by. And this is sweet revenge as he picks up the man who smashed a 6 on the leg side. inducing the top edge. I think it didn't spin as much either. Just closing the face of the bat a little early there, Ganesh. And Bangaru hasn't taken a simpler catch in his life. The East Bay Blazers have lost their sixth. It's 108 for 6. Bagela finishes his quarter for 32 runs and 3 wickets. And this was the third. Now we'll start from the first, in fact. Didn't bounce as much. Saideep Ganesh was the first to go. This was a huge wicket as well, with Vatsal Bagela picking up David White, hitting the base of the leg stump. And then it's been all Bagela show. The second one being CP Rizwan, who didn't get the elevation. Neeraj brought back into the attack and he picked up the crucial wicket of Angelo Pereira. And then the other Ganesh, Aditya Ganesh, gifting a leading edge straight into the hands of John Bangaru. Zia Shehzad's ball well, very unlucky to not have wickets. Lots of running between the wickets we had predicted for this. It's going to be a test of fitness for all the batters. Now Harish Kakani, if he gets a chance to bat, must be prepared to run well between the wickets. Such a quick runner there, Harish Kakani. Good delivery from Zia Shehzad. It's a regular leg spinner, the stock delivery. He's got a good googly as well, remember, and it's coming from high level cricket. Recently, that is. Someone who sets high standards for himself as well. Zia Shehzad, really unlucky not to get a wicket. He created 2 opportunities back to back. Now the East Bay Blazers, 111 for 6, aiming at least 130. Kulvinder must treat that throw as some warm-up. Very soon will be seen with the ball in hand. Now Kulvinder, against the side that he is up right now, delivered a fantastic final over in blue. That was back in Morgan Hill when he was playing for the Silicon Valley Strikers, captained by Unmukh Chand. That game, unforgettable. It was Vikash Mohan on strike then as well, and Kulvinder was able to deliver the cutters and yorkers to perfection to save the day for the Silicon Valley Strikers, to restrict Vikash Mohan and co from getting their victory. Zia Shehzad has woven another very quiet over in the process. He's got one more over up his sleeve, 115 for 6, the Blazers. A slow outfield and a track that's not offering much bounce. It's been a little up and down. Understandably so, the boundaries have been few and far in between.
लंबा सर्कल वाले एफर्ट करो लास्ट 3 ओवर है यार
Looks like it's going to be Harish Kakani to deliver the 18th.
ना लोबल गंडो
Is it going to be Kulwinder to bowl the 19th then and Natraj for the 20th? Or Kakani, will he come back for the 20th? Here is Kakani. Off his hips, will pick up a single. In fact, he's pushed for the second. It's not available. Good work by John Bangaru. Ever since he landed in Phoenix here in the United States of America, he's been turning the heat on. John Bangaru providing fantastic finishes. He just loves his role here at the Grizzlies. John Bangaru. Nicely played, but it's going to be a single. No, it's in fact going to be two. A little late to decide the second run. Still, they make it in time. Kakani is unhappy with that second run being taken. Tariq moves on to 5. Can they push towards 140 here? East Bay Blazers. They need 2 good deliveries at this stage. Watsa losing his footing there. A single without a throw being received. Again, those singles and twos. The lifeline of this innings for the East Bay Blazers. And I just know for a fact that it's going to be the same template for the chasing side as well. Kakani is ready to deliver, I think, another cutter. And when you don't put pace on the ball, it's up to the batter to lose his shape trying to go for a big shot with power. This is good thinking from the experienced Harish Kakani. The first 2 overs that he bowled with a wicket-taking mindset. Now it's restricting mindset. Restrict the runs that the opposition can get. Defensive is not bad, remember. This will irritate the bowler a little bit, but it's the best thing to do as a batter if you feel you're not ready enough or you're being hurried. Lovely length that from Harish Kakani. Would be another single. Mohit Natraj has been kept busy in this over. 121. 8 runs of the Harish Kakani's over with minimum risk. The importance of a set batter on this track is just immense. They want to push for the second. And will get it. $18 overs gone. 1, 2, 3 for 6.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Straight batted stroke required here. Zia Shehzad's going to bowl as quickly as possible. Not from where he intended it to. Hamza Tariq was finished with the shot and he realized the ball hasn't travelled. One delivery. Done and dusted with. Zia Shehzad happy with the result still. Creating room and cutting is not going to be a ubiquitous sign on this track. Single there. Hamza Tariq gets to practice the shot and then on strikers end. It's going to be Vikash Mohan. And someone who can score those touch boundaries, but haven't really seen him go for the big shots and big sixes. Zia Shehzad, good thinking. Keep it away from the reach. Oh wow. Zia Shehzad has rolled out a new wicket to bowl his final over. This much bounce and a little bit of turn. What an over this is turning out to be. Only a single. Vikash Mohan under pressure. Two more. No, only a single. Bramble was ready to collect, whip the bails off. What a throw from Vatsal Vaghela. Right on top of the stumps. Just what the doctor ordered. 2 runs of Zia Shehzad's final over. Just 2. Can he close it out well? Slightly shorter, but doesn't do much. Just a single. 3 is something he'll take. It's just that he's unlucky that the wickets column hasn't ticked today. He was so close to ticking it not once but twice. 19 overs gone, 126 for 6. Is it going to be Kulbinder for the final over?
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
बैकअप पे आना है बच्चा। बोथ साइड। डोंट रेडी राइट।
What a good over to inherit for Harish Kakani. It's not going to be Kulbinder. It's not going to be Kulbinder to bowl the final over. It's the right armer, Harish Kakani.
आएगा ठीक है ऋषभ। मैं आ जाऊंगा ऋषभ ठीक है। क्या बात है हरी।
First ball right on the money.
Excellent, Bramble.
The cutters of Kakani. You could write a book on it, especially in Santa Clara. It'll sell.
बाजी बाइट नहीं आना।
The batters will be the first to buy it, not the bowlers. The cutters of Kakani, the one that doesn't bounce as much and moves a little bit, deviates a little bit after pitching. Tariq has swung the bat through the line, but the ball didn't bounce. I think the idea is to get closer to the ball. Much like that, just a step forward, and Tariq's launched this straight down the ground. It's a painful fetch for Mohit. And a much needed 6 for the East Bay Blazers as they push themselves beyond 130 now. Look how quickly he moves, gets towards the ball. Throw your hands through the line and get the runs. What a hit.
Good thinking है ना।
More importantly, Tariq has smashed it straight down the ground. Play with a straighter bat. It's exactly what the coaches would be telling both the teams. Play with a straighter bat. That's exactly why I'm very interested in seeing how Sami Aslam adapts to this wicket. He loves the cut shot. Hurried on to him. And it's not something that you see on this wicket more often. It's not something that we've seen very often here. The ball skidding on, hurrying on to the batter. Vikash Mohan, 11 or 13, not good enough. He needs to find that boundary. Understandably so, that it's a tricky surface, but still. What happened there? Just let this one go. Oh well, this is why. The decision came a little late, but in favor of Vikash. Just for a moment, I thought it was within the guideline. But the man who matters, he thinks otherwise. The ball swing away as well. Good leave at the end. Doesn't make contact. Very painful this for Vikash. He needs to find the middle of the bat. It's the self-belief factor. The final delivery coming up. The Blazers have got 134. Tariq would be ready to run full tilt. Kakani has come back well after that 6. Almost becoming a no ball, this one. Eventually a wide. It was almost a no ball because it didn't land too far away from the adjacent pitch. That's one way to practice for tomorrow's game. Gets closer to the ball. And misfield it will be for. Vikash does get the boundary that's intended. Vikash does get a much needed boundary. 139 for the Blazers. And Kakani's final over has yielded 12. East Bay Blazers would be mighty pleased with this as they reach 139. In all fairness, this should have been stopped, but Vikash Mohan had made good enough contact. Long off, this was regulation. Doesn't put his body behind, and then it was too late once it went past him. Kakani cannot believe it. This is beautiful camera work. You could sense the story in that frame. 139 for 6, the East Bay Blazers, 140, a round figure required. The Grizzlies do have the batting to get there. But do they have the temperament along with the skill? Sadeep Ganesh's 17. David White's 28 was good to watch while it lasted. Sanjay Krishnamurthy didn't open his account today. Rizwan went for a reckless shot on the leg side. In hindsight, Angelo Pereira, just when he got going, gifted a catch to Bramble. Aditya Ganesh was looking good after that 6, but it was cut short by Vaghela's beauty. Vikash Mohan ends with a runner ball 15, much to his delight, the last ball being a boundary. And Hamza Tariq batted well for his 16 as well, mirroring the figures of another cricketer. Now Neeraj Goyal picked up 2 important wickets. Kulvinder, after a long time, I say Kulvinder not bowling his full quota. Harish Kakani bowls his full quota though. Picks up an important wicket as well. And it's Vatsal Vaghela, the man who started off slowly, ends up as a pick of the bowlers with 3 wickets. A touch expensive, but he'll take it.
how he kills himself. How about you can see from here?
Carmelo still searching for the right line and length. Just getting a feeling that he'll improve as the over progresses. Interestingly, it's Bangaru and Aslam opening the batting today. Bangaru has earned a name for himself as a finisher. Today, a different script for him. Sami Aslam has opened the batting many a time for Grizzlies itself. LaRue can deliver the hard ball, the heavy ball, and with that kind of height generates that extra bit of bounce usually that can add more trouble to the batter. Not the bounce itself, but the fact that it can happen. Everything will suggest extra bit of bounce as you see this big unit of Carmel LaRue walking or steaming in towards you as a batter, but the surface will not give you that much bounce. Second slip position. Oh, how close was this? LaRue is appealing. The bat flings away. Or the cap flings away too. Wanted to nudge that cricket ball. Was so close. LaRue is inquiring. It's a polite inquiry. Oh, what a finish to the over. What an unanswered question it became. 4 without a wicket, the Grizzlies. This is going to be an exciting game of cricket, I tell you. This is going to be a game where you play the waiting game rather as a batter. You wait for the right delivery to score runs off. Didn't bounce as much. Bangaru wanted more bounce. No, Aslam on that occasion. The left-hander. That appeal was met with a stern no. And rightfully so, it didn't hit anything. Loves to come over the ball. Sanjay Krishnamurti. I was discussing with a good friend of mine earlier today, Joe, that Sanjay Krishnamurti, in 10 overs so far in the power play, has picked up 5 wickets. He's gone for 54, of course, but he's picked up 5 wickets. Today is a great day for him to add more to that tally in the power play itself. Because the wicket is assisting, the surface is assisting. Straight to LaRue. only reason I see Bangaru sent up with Sami Aslam is because these are two batters who play spin well, Aslam more so, and also because Bangaru can try and accelerate in the first 6 overs. Because this wicket is not ideal if you're a batter, it's not a paradise, remember. In the air, but he's allowed to play this shot in the first 6 overs also because no protection in the deep. Good work by Hari. Gets the throw in quickly. What a good over it's been from Krishnamurthy as well. Just 3 of it. Can he finish with the wicket? Cut away, but straight to the fielder. Two overs, 7 without a wicket. A cautious start for the Grizzlies.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Good work by LeRoux. It's a length once again that's confusing the batter. They see a tall, lanky fast bowler. And the ball doesn't bounce as much from that length. Just like that. It's the leg stump cartwheeling. Bangaru's promotion is not something he's going to remember today. Grizzlies lose their first. More pressure on Aslam. They got to find a new hero to anchor this run chase now. To be the safe pair of hands, the extra pair of hands that Sami Aslam needs. There's a bit of an inside edge as well as Bangaru went through with the initial line. A bit of movement after pitching. Huge gap between bat and pad. Ball sneaks through, hits the top of leg. LeRoux strikes. That's not a pretty sign. That's not a pretty scene. If you're John Bangaru. The stalwart from Hyderabad goes for just 2 today. 7 for 1, the Grizzlies. Anthony Bramble usually opens the batting. Today is sent in at number 3. We were trying to decipher why John Bangaru got the nod ahead of everybody, in fact, and to make him the opener, perhaps to go absolute bonkers and create that panic in the opposition by doing well in the first 6 overs. That hasn't happened. Not that Anthony Bramble cannot do it when he gets going. Anthony Bramble is a synonym of unstoppable. Today is not going to be that kind of a day. He's got to bat very, very sensibly, very, very measured. Anthony Bramble usually relies on that, on the ball coming onto the bat, and then he creates his own angles. He's so talented. Today, as much as talent and skill, the grit and perseverance will be tested. And just like that, Kame Leroux will trouble the batters. Everything suggests that it's going to bounce, except for that it doesn't. Except for that. A tall, lanky bowler steaming towards you, hitting that hard length. Is the secret being crouched in your stance? Or the secret is something that you can borrow from Saideep Ganesh, the lower hands? Bramble wants that single. He was a little late to realize, but makes it in time. It's the throw that has granted the boundary. Bramble is off the mark. Sometimes you play late and get a boundary. Sometimes you run late and get a boundary. He was still deciphering what exactly happened because it hit the sticker of the bat. Aslam was off in a flash. And in hindsight, it's a single that he wouldn't mind scampering because it's not a single anymore, it's 4 more. Leroux wants to have a chat. Leroux wants to have a chat. Bramble is quite content replying. Definitely the conversation is about what transpired just a ball ago. Leroux wants the batter to come after him. He loves the challenge, does Kamai. There are two kinds of South African. There are just two kinds of South Africans here today. A very quiet White, not so much Leroux. Three overs gone, 12 for 1. Sami Aslam is reminding Bramble, don't get carried away. Don't lose your focus. It was good to see the umpire step in almost immediately as Leroux was trying to suggest something to Bramble. Some of the games that we've seen in 2023 Minor League Cricket Championship, especially in the San Diego region, this is such that there was always an air of camaraderie in between overs. But intense game happening while the overs were on. Sami Aslam is also quickly checking which way the wind is blowing. As we've seen so many times with the Grizzlies, a good run chase hinges on Aslam providing the runs. Beautifully played away. And it's a very difficult shot to play on this track. It's been Aslam's bread and butter. Still remember that century at Morgan Hill from Aslam where he cut his way to glory. There were 3 fielders placed for the cut shot. He was still able to squeeze the ball in the gap. Oh well. A charging Bramble was met with fierce resistance as the ball refused to come to him. So slow, so shrewd, Krishnamurti. Not in the right region, but superbly fielded. That deserved a boundary. Bramble got enough bat and power on it. Krishnamurti is getting exactly what he wanted from the fielders. That much support. This time it's given. Bramble cannot believe it. He is looking at himself just to check if he plonked that front foot outside the line. It's a failure with a bat in hand today for Anthony Bramble, the danger man. And with every wicket at the striker's end, Sami Aslam's getting immensely impatient at the non-strikers. Hit him low as well, didn't bounce as much. Bramble stayed put, the finger went up. It's going to be a long walk back. 14 for 2, the Grizzlies. What an over from Krishnamurti. And what a lovely habit of picking up wickets in the power play. Four overs gone. 14 for 2. Okay, the two left-handers stitch a partnership. The captain has had no hesitations in letting Kamal Leroux continue. He feels another over here for Kamal Leroux. He's got a better opportunity to pick up another wicket. Aslam under pressure. Doesn't need to touch this at all. A run granted. Kamal Leroux knows in hindsight you don't want to bowl a delivery that's in. When you think about it twice, just goes without any resistance whatsoever. That's much better. That's in the corridor. Aslam's usually so nimble with his footwork. There, the foot didn't move. The fifth stump line has been serving Kamai Leroux well. I think he's going to come closer to the stumps. Or just like that, it doesn't bounce. Aslam's got a delivery that he wants to forget. Leroux hits the off stump. Grizzlies are 15 for 3. Jumps to negotiate, the ball skids through. Flies out of the frame, does a stump. And it's a very rare sight to see a batter of Aslam's stature loses off stump. Oh, what a leveler cricket is. What a leveler. It's tough for the batters if it doesn't bounce from that length. And Kamai Leroux is such a deceptive cricketer. Kakani's got to walk in with a very positive frame of mind. Grizzlies are 15 for 3. The very experienced Harish Kakani, scoring a lot of runs in the California region. But on this track, it's about survival initially. Oh, what a delivery! What a wake-up call for Kakani first up. It's a line that you've got to play as a right-hander. And Kamai Leroux coming closer and closer to the stumps delivers a beauty. Very well collected by Ganesh. Hinter swing as well for Kamai Leroux. Late swing though. I can tell you what's exactly going on in the minds of everyone who's turned up in yellow and black right now. You could just hear their thought out loud. It says, thank God we've batted already. Should be taken. Oh, what a catch! Jumping at just the right time. Both hands to it is the key. And Kakani is walking back. Grizzlies lose their fourth, and Kamai Leroux in his third over seems to be a master class. Make the batter play at it. That should be the headline. Good captaincy to persist with Leroux to give him another over. That was nice and wide. Kakani goes after it. And a terrific catch. Timing the jump. Putting an end to Kakani's innings even before it started to tick. Grizzlies in trouble, 15 for 4. This was the first wicket for Carmel LaRue. Then decides to send the off stick flying for Sami Aslam. The ball didn't bounce as much as expected. Now Kakani chasing a wide one. What a wonderful catch. What an over from LaRue. Given another over, that means he's got just one more over up his sleeve, and that'll be goal dust. More wickets than runs in LaRue's over. Angelo Pereira. The moment he even sniffs a bit of spin, he'll be in action. Zia Shehzad and Shivam Mishra. Two new batters. It's a dangerous shot to play. Anything cross-batted. They've decided to milk the bowling, and it's not a bad idea at all. Will bring a sense of calm to Grizzlies proceedings. Losing 4 in the power play is way too much. Puts immense pressure on the middle order. End of the over. What a time to come in and bowl for Hari Nair. Less pressure. Shivam Mishra, not only is he looking at the field set, he's also slowing things down. Now Hari Nair's got more protection in the deep as the first power play has ended. And oh well. Sanjay Krishnamurthy for a moment got excited. Very well bowled. A fielder exactly for that. I thought he would have hit that in the gap because he was walking outside of. Zia Shehzad getting a little impatient. Now covers the line and gets it in the gap. Moving outside off is a good idea. 5 of Honey Nair's first over. 7 overs gone. 24 for 4.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Paratkar starts off well. The ideal line would be anything on the stumps. Especially for the kind of pace that Paratkar has. Military medium. But as the engine gets warmed up, you can expect a little more pace. And with that angle, you've got to play the ball as well. This is good thinking from Paratkar. Good thinking from the paces that we've seen so far. It's hurt him. Zia Shehzad not looking comfortable. It's a kind of surface where you're never set as a batter. To score 9 and over for the next 13, you need somebody to bat out of their skin. What an attempt from Ganesh behind the wicket. It'll still go for 4. One way or the other, the boundary is welcome. In the end, it's going to be 5 runs. And the ball will not be counted. Good attempt by Aditya Ganesh. Single here. Paratkar wouldn't mind this. He'll try his luck at Mishra. Is he changing the end here? I beg your pardon. Is he changing the side here? He's changed the angle of attack. No, he wants to stick to the same for the left-hander too. And it's beautifully played by Mishra. Didn't try to hit it hard at all. And it's not the kind of outfield where you'll get runs. If you just open the face of the bat, he's still glided it too well. What a beautiful shot this from Mishra. Ball coming in, opening the face of the bat. Just tells you the pace of Paratkar. That on an outfield of this kind as well, the ball had enough to go for four. And he was in such good control, watching the ball to the last moment. Mishra moves on to a runner ball line with that boundary. And then, of course, he played it off ball.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
Well played. Will be more than a single. A very rare misfield from Sanjay Krishnamurthy. Hari wants to bowl as much as possible to the right-hander. Actually, he would have welcomed that single, but eventually it became two. Good delivery from Hari. That was nice, quick. Curtailed the option of Mishra as the ball was close to his body. This time very well played on the leg side. And now for the first time in the over, the left arm orthodox gets to bowl at the right-hander Zia Shehzad. Oh no. I beg your pardon. The off spinner rather. As he clobbered this one, looked like he got enough on it. Shehzad was waiting deep inside the crease as well. He's got to assume responsibility as he's a senior in the side, and Shehzad's doing exactly that. He's taking on the young Nair. Same area again, moves outside off to make it more accessible with that shot. This time Mohan's in the deep. What a shot. Moving outside off and allowing him ample time to go for that shot as well. Zia Shehzad. 45 for 4.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Very well played by Zia Shehzad. Paratkar with a steaming Yorker. Building a nice partnership, much required for the Golden State Grizzlies, these two, Zia Shehzad and Mishra. Just when the required rate was about 8.9, bringing the required rate down to 8.7. The last 2 overs, they've been able to achieve more than the required rate here. The Golden State Grizzlies, they want to keep the momentum going. Angelo Pereira having a word with Paratkar. Perhaps he wants Paratkar to probably tell these are the areas which the batters are going to score runs in, and it could be only a single. Thurman comes inside the circle. Mishra misses out on an opportunity here. And this is the problem. A couple of dot balls in the over, and the required rates climbed up once again to 8.9. Both the batters 13 or 14. That changes with that single. Zia Shehzad. He's got to look for a boundary here. Can he go inside out? It's not that kind of a wicket though. Flicked away, only a single, no problemo for Paratkar. It's not the kind of surface where you score 90 odd in the last 10 overs, even with 6 wickets in hand. Someone's got to take the initiative at this stage before leaving it too late. Direct hit would have been close. They got to take that single as well. The Grizzlies. What an over from Paratkar. Went for 11 in his first over, just 4 in his second. Sanjay Krishnamurthy gets the throw in. Would have been touch and go had that been a direct hit. At the halfway stage, the Grizzlies are 49 for 4.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go Rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Angelo Pereira is spoiled for choice. CP Rizwan. Poor delivery. Could have been a story of overrunning. Then he slips as he tries to change course. And the throw that was way over the keeper's head. Look at him crawl towards that cricket ball. Initially thought there was just enough time to recover, then thought otherwise. That's the funniest approach to a cricket ball, approaching towards it. 50 comes up for the Grizzlies with that single, but it's been a fight for them to get to 50. So loopy. CP Rizwan. And it's not it's not a very orthodox action either from CP Rizwan. He's bamboozled many cricketers back in UAE with this action. I remember watching him in the D10 and D20. This was from the back of the hand, supposed to be the googly. And the googly did produce the edge that was required, the top edge, but lands safely. There's something so thrilling about CP Rizwan as you watch him bowl. When was the last time in a T20 format you saw somebody float it over the eye line? Doesn't need to play this at all. Ganesh is asking, didn't the batter move as well? Yes, the batter did, but it's still a very good call by the umpire. Young Harris, he's bowled well. Then he was taken apart in that one over by Zia Shahzad with that six. Second run's not available. White quick to get to the ball. It's a very safe shot to play. But the only problem for Grizzlies is the required rate is marching to its own drum beats. 11 overs gone, 53 for 4.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Angelo Pereira is forcing the batter to play a cut shot. Nice and loopy. Superbly fielded. It's a little up and down. He's hurt himself though. That is concerning. Pereira is up on his feet. What about the other fielder? Seems to be okay. This is marvelous. 4 dot balls. Required rate now is soaring. And the problem with Pereira, as far as the batters are concerned, is that he finishes the overs quickly. Full toss. That's the poor delivery that he was waiting for. Mishra puts that away. Angelo Pereira aiming for drift. In the end, it becomes a comfortable height full toss that he was able to put away superbly. Two more. No, there is more to it. That throw from Vikash. There's more to it. 12 overs gone. 60 for 4.
What's up, Doug? What got into you?
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. Fuel your best.
A very odd over that from Pereira. 4 dot deliveries, a boundary and 3 runs at the end of the day. 7 in the over. Three is not a denomination that you usually see in Santa Clara because it's not a huge ground either. CP Rizwan. Zia Shehzad, here, taste your own medicine, says the captain of East Bay Blazers, Angelo Pereira. Really good work by Hari. I just love the fact that the youngsters have learnt the art of anticipation. And they've got to work a lot on their aural senses while they go towards the ball with all their focus. They've got to keep their ears open because their partners, their teammates are always shouting which end to throw at. That's gone through the legs. Struck really well. Still a single. Krishnamurti is unhappy that it's not a swift action. Collect and throw. Full toss. Put down. Kamai the culprit. Something had to give at this stage. Rizwan's not happy. He's been giving the ball a lot of flight. Shivam survives. He's carrying on the luck that he gained in San Diego. Straightforward chance. Put down. Very demoralizing for a bowler as well. That one turned a long way. Even Rizwan cannot believe it that it turned that much. Excellent work by Ganesh behind the wicket. What a delivery that though. This is much better. Great adjustment. If possible, we'll try and look at it again. This one was flatter. One that turns, and then one that doesn't. Good thinking from CP. Mixing it up nicely. Once again, a full toss. Sanjay Krishnamurthy in the deep. Only a single. 13 overs gone. 67 for 3.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट पे क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Now this was a drop chance. Carmel Leroux getting underneath it, but botching it in the end. The bucket-like hands. Still it kept going. That curse still kept going. Sanjay Krishnamurthy. He needs that wicket to regain confidence. He's been superb during the death as well, but now service is required in the middle overs. So far, so good for Krishnamurthy. Giving away just 6 runs and 13 deliveries and picking up a wicket. I've spoken to him about the art of spin and the fact that he loves watching the batter till the last moment to pull back the length if required. The required rate climbs up to 10.6 with every single. Keeps on shooting up. Zia Shehzad's got to find the boundary here. Not for the lack of intent. He's trying to clobber the ball. Backward point. Straight to him and quickly to him. So quickly that taking a single is not possible. What's worse than a single, a dot ball? What's even worse? The one that brings wicket. Shivam targets the leg side, and it's an area that he's been successful before as well. A welcome boundary for Shivam Mishra. Becomes the highest scorer. Got into a lovely position to play this shot as well. A long on who was wide. A deep mid wicket as well. In between them. Very well bowled. A little wide but quick. Umpire says that was not a little wide. It was too wide. What about this one? This one's okay. 14 overs gone. 75 for 4.
Took that last corner pretty quick.
Sir, I need one hand on the roof, one hand on the pump.
Timeout for Sunoco Go rewards.
Keep pumping.
With new Sunoco Go rewards, when you fuel, you save because rewards come first.
Razwan CP almost got his first wicket. That was in the previous over. Kamal Leroux had tried too hard. Perhaps he puts it down. But CP Rizwan is always in with a chance of picking up a wicket because the required rate is teasing 11 and he's flighting the ball. Good adjustment by the batter, but it will not yield him the runs required, only a single. He's a batter's nightmare. Rizwan, because he sets up so quickly, wants to finish the over so quickly, got into a good position, fielder in the deep, exactly for that shot. It was David White who's got a great throwing arm. He's a strong man. Runs required 11.8 now. Rizwan's given away just 4 runs. Oh, it's a direct hit. Zia Shehzad might be in trouble. Zia Shehzad, all this while, thought he deserved a 4 for it. Hits it straight to the fielder at backward square, who was quick enough to not just collect the ball but get rid of the ball. And the accuracy, impeccable. Before Zia Shehzad could recover from that shot and start to run, the throw was there. Couldn't have asked for anything better. It's all because of Rizwan's 4 singles that he had given away, and not much. Zia Shehzad departs. The partnership is broken. Grizzlies 79 for 5 at the end of 15. A single is not going to hurt the East Bay Blazers. Shivam Mishra just loves to explore that area at mid-wicket. A deep mid-wicket cow corner, that's his area. Mohit Natraj, no option but to go for the big shot at this stage. 12.6 that required it. 27 balls, 58 required. And just like that, Krishnamurthy will pick up another. Natraj exposing his stumps to go for a hike on the leg side. No other option but to do it. Krishnamurthy keeps it straight and simple. And slow as well, and that's the reason he's purchased this wicket. Slow, loopy. Much to the delight of Krishnamurthy. Nataraj misses. 82 for 6. Mohin Natraj going for that extravagant hike on the leg side, missing a straight ball in the end. Krishnamurti has got two more deliveries in this game. Two more deliveries to finish his quota. Surprised that he didn't bowl this one on the wickets. The final delivery, will he choose to bowl on the wickets? He does, and Kulvinder is back in the hut as well. Krishnamurti finishes with 3 for 16 and will be mighty pleased with this effort. Just 3 runs and 2 wickets in this over. This one was quicker. This one hurried onto him. He was committed on the back foot. And it hits the stump straight. Didn't even try to turn the ball. This is the importance of bowling wicket to wicket. And Krishnamurti knows. 82 for 7, the Grizzlies. Outwalks Sohan Bhatt. Was very surprised that Kulvinder walked out to bat before Sohan. Required rate is soaring. 14.5. If anyone can even get them close to 14.5, it's Mishra who's got to take the chance. Now Sohan Bhatt is a very, very tactical touch player. We've seen him score those crucial runs towards the end in Morgan Hill as well. But today it's a different ball game. Today he's got to use his power. Today he's got to rely more on timing. Power is also a key element. Bhatt on strike. Hardy gets his third over. Fantastic delivery. Sohan wanted that single as an afterthought. Mishra wasn't ready, and rightfully. Such a good delivery from Hari. Sohan can be cheeky. Bit of a misfield. Harvey did not want that left-hander to get off the strike. That brings another left-hander though. He did not want Sohan to get off strike because Sohan's the new man in. Mishra, has he connected well? Just enough. He's pounded this one for 6. And they need a lot more of this kind. The Grizzlies. They found their voice. They've started to roar. The only concern is it a bit too late? That's a clean hit. Sohan does the same thing again, and this time straight to the fielder, Vikash. Hari finishes his third over. 10 runs of it. 92 for 7. Let's have a look at the fall of the wickets. Carmelo Rue started by dismantling the stumps, and then Anthony Bramble trapped in front. That was Krishnamurthy's first. Carmelo Rue picked up the skipper, Sami Aslam, with a ball that didn't bounce as much as expected. Then Harish Kakani gifting a catch to Gully. What a tremendous catch! Then this run out of Zia Shehzad, breaking the partnership. What a throw from Hari. We'll have to check. And then, in the final over of his quota, he picked up 2 wickets. Krishnamurthy. Hari almost picking up a wicket, but long gone. Could only see the ball fly despite trying his best. Nine. The required rate is a humble 5.4. We'll continue with the wickets package. This was Shivam. A simple catch for Leroux. What a start to the over. $17.6 an over. On a track of this kind, extremely difficult. Shivam Mishra back in the hut. He was a lone warrior. He was a set batter on a track where you can't claim to be set. Continues to try his best here, Sohan. Joined by Neeraj Goyal. And this is why. Shivam Mishra trying to be cheeky, the slower delivery as well. Ended up gifting a catch to Kamai Leroux. Recognized it a little late, but the ball was hanging in the air for a longer period of time. A single is not going to help the cause much for the Golden State Grizzlies. This game is very quickly slipping away, if not already has. Are they now playing to ensure they don't get bundled out? Are they trying to play the allotted 20 overs here, Grizzlies? Is 140 not even a number they're looking at right now? Quick to dispatch that throw. It was Hari on that occasion. He'll be mighty pleased today, Angelo Pereira, with the way their bowlers have turned up. Batting was difficult on this track. The batters did well enough to get 139, and then the bowlers, they did not disappoint. Wickets at regular intervals, forcing the batters to play the wrong shots as well. And Kamai Leroux rattling the opposition batting lineup initially. As we've seen captains do so often in this format of the game, to kill the game, the penultimate over is given to the bowler who's the most dangerous and the most effective. Kamai Leroux has been called up. Dot ball. What does Neeraj Goyal do? It was a cutter as well from Kamai Leroux. From this angle, it looks like it just held its line. But this angle can be deceiving. Does make contact, will get a single. Golden State Grizzlies are struggling. This game is virtually over. 9 deliveries, 42 required. Leroux's bowling deliveries where you cannot get underneath the ball. Definitely a contender for the player of the match here. Kamai Leroux, 3 for 13. And not short of intensity. He can add more to it. On the leg side, very innocuous delivery. Superbly fielded. There's a little torque on that one. Hurry. Yes, you could sense there was a bit of torque on that one. He was taking it further away from him, but with that single, 100 comes up for the Golden State Grizzlies. Another single. The region, same. Result, same. Leroux finishes his quota of 4. He'll be mighty pleased with 3 for 14, including top order batters. 102 for 8 with the final over coming up. 38 required.
वक्त आ गया है लक्ष्मी बासमती राइस को घर लाने का। लक्ष्मी एक्स्ट्रा लॉन्ग बासमती राइस। इसका हर दाना हो इतना लंबा, पकते हुए महके और प्लेट में क्या खूब खिले।
हाँ, मेरे घर लाने का।
Paratkar to bowl the final over. It'll start with a boundary. Nice and wide, slices it, does Goel. And once it cleared the infield, it had enough to go for four. A lot of power behind that. Third man was inside the circle. One bounce over the rope. Neeraj is looking at the square leg umpire. Neeraj is also looking within. He should have put that away. Bharatkar wanted a slow wide Yorker. He missed his mark completely. And that's the game for you. Neeraj strikes well. And this will be a maximum. He's presenting his candidacy for promotion up the order next game. This is a clean hit. Slower delivery. He picked it up, Neeraj, and posted it over long off. Once again, the similar region. In fact, it's the same shot as well. But the result is 2 extra runs. Back-to-back sixes. Saving the best for the last here, Neeraj Goel. The idea is to release that cricket bat as fast as possible. From the back left to the point of contact. A lot of power involved. Oh, misses it completely this time. 16 runs of the over so far. The game is in the bag of East Bay Blazers. Final delivery coming up. Is there a customary 6 or a 4? East Bay Blazers. They've already added 2 points to their kitty. Final ball. Swing and a miss. Bharatkar finishes with a wicket only for his 35. It's been a big learning curve for him. But the East Bay Blazers would be mighty pleased with this effort as they win by a margin of 22 runs, a healthy margin in this format of the game. All thanks to their batters who on a difficult track were able to give them the cushion of a 20. And then came the bowlers who dismantled the stumps, especially Carmine LaRue. Losing 4 wickets in the power play, it gets very difficult to claw yourself back into the game. But with that one partnership of Zia Mohammad Shehzad with Shivam Mishra, there was some hope, but it was always lurking the point that they were leaving it too late, and that was leaving it too late indeed, with Zia Mohammad Shehzad returning due to a good run out from Tariq. Mohit Natraj was only able to contribute 1. Shivam Mishra stands out with his 42. And the problem there was John Bangaru didn't score with his promotion. Sami Aslam didn't score due to a delivery that didn't bounce as much. That would remove them out of the equation. Bramble departed for a run of ball 6. With the engine room not firing, Golden State Grizzlies succumb to their wounds. In the end, 117 for 8. It was too much to do for Neeraj Goyal, despite a good 20 or just 11. Kamal Aru and Sanjay Krishnamurti, the pacer and the spinner, mirror each other in stats. 3 wickets apiece and 1 for Abhishek Paratkar. Rizwan bowled really well and I believe he deserved a wicket. And so did Hari Krishnan Nair, who almost got one with long on, waiting for that catch, but the ball growing wings at the last moment. Good work by East Bay Blazers as they kept on chipping away with the wickets. 7, 14, 15, 15, 4 wickets down. And it was very difficult after that for the Golden State Grizzlies to come back into the game. Despite a good partnership and some blitzkrieg towards the end, East Bay Blazers had enough of a cushion. 139 for 6, the East Bay Blazers, 28 or 29 for David White. In hindsight, it's the kind of innings that's required from an opener on a track of this kind. CP was able to add 20, Pereira as well in similar deliveries. Vaghela picked up 3 wickets. Goyal with his 2 was happy. Kakani picked up 1 initially, but then couldn't produce another. Golden State Grizzlies in reply, 42 of 39, Shivam Mishra top scoring. And Zia Shehzad, who did the mending work with Shivam Mishra, was able to provide 23 only. They needed a better start here. The East Bay Blazers know that. Golden State Grizzlies needed a better start, and that's exactly why East Bay Blazers concentrated their energies on picking up early wickets. Krishnamurti picked up 3, LeRoux picked up 3, Paratkar's 1 provided the win eventually. East Bay Blazers win by 22 runs. It was all started by Kamal LeRoux picking up John Bangaru, the big hitter who got a promotion today but didn't turn up to the office. Not in the fashion they would have liked his team. Anthony Bramble was a little confused, eventually ran because the captain said so. And then trapped in front by Sanjay Krishnamurti. This was a huge threat neutralized. He could well be the difference of 20. And Sami Aslam unlucky to get a ball that didn't climb at all. Kamai kept it straight and simple. And once he bowled wide, Kakani went after it. As a consequence, went back to the pavilion. Paratkar initially was all over the place. Those 5 wide runs came in as a breath of fresh air. Definitely came as a breath of fresh air, and then the partnership began. Shivam Mishra was too good. Zia Shehzad sensed opportunities better. Took on the youngster Hari Krishnan Nair, moving outside off, creating room. Rather getting close to the ball on that occasion. Over mid-wicket, just loves to play that shot. Zia Shehzad. And Shivam Mishra loves the mid-wicket region. Once, twice, thrice, just kept on peppering that region. This should have been taken. This was the dropped opportunity from Kamal LeRoux. And CP never got the wicket that he deserved. Sanjay Krishnamurti in his final over picked up 2. But before that, Shivam was able to find another boundary in the deep mid-wicket region. This was the turning point as far as the Grizzlies are concerned, because this was the final nail in the coffin. With Zia Shehzad departing, a lot more to do in fact for Shivam Mishra. Mohit departed almost immediately, and Kulvinder was also a 3-ball visitor, rather to trying to search for a single, soon realized the stumps were broken. And then Mishra taking the fielder at long on. Paratkar in the final over was able to pick up Shivam Mishra. Kama LaRue called for it, and he didn't make a mistake this time. Neeraj provided some excitement to the Grizzlies fans. A boundary first half followed by two back-to-back sixes. One straight down the ground, and this one just opening the face of the bat as well at the last moment. What a treat to watch. But that was about it. It was all about swings and misses after that, as it was the East Bay Blazers who wrapped up the game in their favor. A margin of 22 is healthy indeed. Good work by Sohan Bhatt as well for the Grizzlies, who ensured that the East Bay Blazers were unable to bundle out their side. So 139 for 6, the East Bay Blazers. David White's 28 was a good innings under circumstances. CP and Pereira scored 20 of 18. Vaghela picked up 3 important wickets. Goels 2, and Harish Kakani, with the new ball today, picked up 1. Golden State Grizzlies in reply were able to score only 117 for 8 thanks to Krishnamurthy's 3 and Kama LaRue's havoc early on. Mishra's 42 goes in vain, and Zia Shehzad was able to stitch a partnership with Mishra, but fizzled out in the end, and no one provided that big finish required. They were always playing catch-up cricket were Golden State Grizzlies. East Bay Blazers win by 22 runs. A great day here at Santa Clara. The weekend's just getting started, isn't it? What a game of cricket. East Bay Blazers vs Golden State Grizzlies. It's not a regular T20 kind of game where you get a lot of sixes and fours. It was a kind of game where you had to battle it out, respect the conditions, and test your perseverance as well. So those were the things that we learned today, and those are the things that the youngsters will walk away as well as they look at this scorecard and as they look at the highlights. Well, I'm Suhas Vedan, and as always, pleasure bringing this game to you.